What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. LeBron James has a son by the name of Bronny James, and his 16 or 17-year-old son, I don't know how old he is, but he's in a junior prom, and he's taking a young white lady to that prom. Many people out there have criticized LeBron and his wife for that, and saying that it's a disgrace. Dr. Umar Johnson has, come out and talked about that. But what we're not really dealing with is that LeBron James also has a history in his younger years of dating young white women. All right. Now, just like his son, LeBron James went to a private school. I believe it was called St. Vincent. And that school in Akron was not just, African Americans going there. He went to a school where there were many students that were there of other races. So he was able to interact at that particular time. What we're not talking about, though, is that LeBron James eventually committed to a young black woman by the name of Savannah James, and they got married. That they're still married. They have kids. They have a wonderful life. They have built an incredible family together. Now, the question is, will Bronny James do the same thing? Now, let me just say this. At the time that we were coming up, and LeBron's a little bit younger than me, many of us went to, especially in states like California and things like that, we went to colleges, universities, and to be fair, if it was predominantly white, you dealt with some chicks that were not African American. Okay? It didn't indicate that you didn't love your women. It just meant that it was another experience. But typically, when you want to come back and you want to deal in your own community, if you want to deal in your church community, and if you didn't want to have those issues, and if you really had a heart for black women, you knew who you were going to marry. And for most of us brothers at that time, if we were going to get married, it was going to be with a black woman, because we had a stronger sense of community. Now, in the case of Bronny James, I don't know what his sense of community is with him. I do know that a lot of athletes, a lot of entertainers, they do date interracial. I know that it's a lot easier to find white women, Asian women on the same social class as LeBron. I know that Holly Pete and Rodney Pete's son is also friends with LeBron, and they are also dating white girls and things like that. That's the situation, right? We're talking about the social and black elite classes. But the issue is that what are the young ladies today? Can they even take advantage or be able to compete with the young women that these guys have today? Do you know what I'm saying? How many women? There's only so many women like Michelle Obama's daughters. A lot of black women are not in from these elite families. Many of them are coming from single mother-led homes, right? And where these young black men that come from these elite families, they can't necessarily go down and marry somebody from Inglewood, to be fair. For them, it's too much of a risk. And that's the fundamental problem. So when LeBron James was coming up as an NBA athlete, he was the first person to be rich in his family, right? So he could marry somebody like for Savannah James. But for somebody like Bronny, you're already rich. Your dad's a billionaire. You can't just go to Inglewood and just build it up like that. You can't get you a girl from Lamar Park. And that's really what the issue is in this particular situation. And a lot of folks don't like that. But at the same time, I think what we need to do is let the young brother do his thing. Why? Because he might change. Okay? He might be able to meet a black woman as he's going along that, he can trust, he might want to build with, he might want to do something with, and that might be his wife one day. Just like LeBron was 17. White women were throwing themselves at him and all that. He still picked Savannah, right? And I think a lot of times, people want to judge somebody with what they do when in high school, and really it shouldn't matter. But look at LeBron. LeBron is one of the biggest advocates for the black community. He's a liberal. I don't like some of his policies, but does LeBron James do good work? You goddamn bet you. LeBron does excellent work. LeBron is the epitome of what black family is. He's supportive of the community he comes from. He's excellent. I have nothing bad to say about him outside of some of the stupid things he says politically. But LeBron James is that. Now, Bronny James don't come from that same era because he didn't have to. He was already born privileged. But that does not mean that he won't be able to choose a sister. The question is, who is ready to compete for a young man like that? And I think a lot of young black women around his age, they don't want to talk about that. You think that a guy like Bronny James is going to just, come after you? He should just be dealing with you. How many young women in black America are willing to show I'm wife material in the future for a guy like this? When you got those young white chicks who are going to do that. Some of these girls going to be cooking and cleaning and not letting them wash dishes and all that kind of stuff. How many young women are ready to be chosen? Because young dudes like this are not going to be arguing about who going to take out the trash or the black gender war. These guys don't have the experience of most black dudes. That's comical to them. Okay? It's not like, a lot of us who grew up in black America and seeing, black men, coming in being stepdaddies. And that's what happened in our neighborhoods. But somebody coming up like him, it's not worth his time. And where are the eligible young women? Not the ones who think they're wifey material, who he thinks is wifey material. Where are they at? See, it's different when a woman thinks he's wifey material, but do the guys think that? But just because he's with a young lady today, it don't mean that he's not considering a sister, that he don't like black women. I've seen a TikTok of him, his preference, it seems to be, is, mulatto and a little lighter skinned women, but that don't mean anything. That don't mean he wouldn't date a woman that like his mother, or same color, what I mean, or same skin tone. That's what I really mean. It don't mean that at all. And if his mother has been good to him and been sweet to him, that's a good indication that a man like that would still be interested in sisters. Because if a man loves his mother in the black community, and his mother's been good to him and sweet to him, it's a good indication that man will love black women. But are they going to be ready to compete? Many of them, I will say, is no. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe at the bell. Check out the first come from the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.